Hello out there. Hopefully there's somebody out there to let me know that we are live. Well, there's people watching. Good. I wasn't sure there because it went through the entire intro and there was no figures turning up. So hopefully you can see and hear me. I've been dicking around with settings again, so not entirely sure. Hopefully you can let me know. Yeah, sorry about last week's live stream. I had the resolution set at the wrong resolution, and it meant that by the end of it you could only watch it in 480, which is what old-fashioned standard definition. So it wasn't, I wouldn't say it wasn't much use, but it wasn't its usual kind of high definition that we usually do. I think it's usually 720. So today I've set it at 720, and hopefully the computer won't actually, won't buffer loads and loads and loads, or at least crap out on me anyway. Evening, Peter. Good to see you. Coming through fine. Good. Always pleased that you're out there letting me know. Hi, Ozzy. Good to see you as well. I haven't forgotten about that print, by the way. It will get sent out at some stage. Can only apologise for me being so bloody useless at sending stuff out. Unless people pay me, of course, then it's more likely to go out a little bit quicker. So yeah, you will get it. Just bear with us. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. We are gonna be going back to Harbottle Castle again in my edits tonight. Because I was going to say I haven't been out. I did go out. I was out on Thursday. Lovely sunny day. It was for a magazine feature that'll be coming up in whenever. Couple of months' time maybe. And I should really I do kind of need to edit some of that together. Some images from there, because that's going to be going... I'm going to need to do them in a timely manner, but because I've only made 1 or 2 images from Harbottle from my trip out there with David Byrne a few weeks ago now, back into that data, and maybe look at do 2 quick images. We'll see. Evening, John. Good to see you as well. Thanks for coming along. So the plan is tonight is crack on with. Definitely 1, maybe 2 images of Harbottle Castle. That's pretty much it, really. I'm depending on how the data goes together. I might do one of my inverted images because I've done quite a few of those this weekend. This weekend has been a terrible one for weather. If there's any locals out there. You basically whole water for about 3 days. Bloody water everywhere. So it's been shocking, and just not going outside, so been stuck at my desk. So I thought I'd better actually catch up with some editing. So I've done a load of editing ready for my next video, which hopefully will be out either before the weekend or over the weekend, and it will finally be the Thomas Heaton video. It's only 2 months since we recorded it, so that one it'll be either, if it's not Thursday, it'll be Saturday or Sunday, just depending on how things go. But rest assured, that video will be out sometime before next Tuesday, because I've done all the images and I've started. One mistake I made with recording that video is I turned off the in-camera stabilization for the video, and everything was very, very juddery. So I've spent most of today doing the warp stabilization for every single B-roll clip. Absolute pain in the backside. So that's been a nightmare, and because I've got a fairly slow computer anyway, it just churns away at it. Takes forever. And these are only like small 5-6 7 second long clips as well, and each one's taking like 4 or 5 minutes. Absolute nightmare. but it will look a little bit smoother for it. Had it been a just normal video, I would just have just forgotten about it and either never put it out, or just put it out as it is. But I thought this one might actually get a few people watching it, so I've spent that little bit of time on it. So that'll be coming up soon. I do believe today that, well, I know it's happened today, but Lightroom's updated with some GPU enhancements. So I don't know if you guys have updated so far, if you are a Lightroom user. I think it's for kind of higher end systems with fancy graphics cards and 4K displays. I think the main performance boosts off of those. Us guys that have like really old machines and low res stuff, I think we're basically getting forgotten about. But that's not surprising, because we're not the ones putting money into Adobe's pockets, are we? Or certainly not the gear manufacturers anyway, because we just make do with what we've got, which is the best way. Evening, Alan, good to see you. Haven't seen you for a while. Must get out at some stage again. Would be good to catch up. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Instead of me going and whatever, better do some image editing. So we will start off in Lightroom as we always do. And so yeah, the Harbottle Castle, the ruins that we have. Did do, obviously, which one did we make the last time? The last one we did was a few weeks ago, and we made this one in the end, which was very, very, very loose and very abstract. But this one, I'm hoping for a little bit more detail, because the one I'm going to start with on was this image, which is very washed out, and this one, which is a bit more detailed. So I'm kind of hoping these ones might actually work together quite nicely. The ones before it are just kind of off-center, not really doing much. I may use this one just for that area here. People do ask us, you know, how do I know what images to use while I do my edits. Some of it can be as simple as just seeing a little area like that and running with it, basically. So let us get these images prepped. Usual thing. Lens corrections. Open the vignette out. Detail. Noise reduction to flatten all that noise out. Dust spotting. Get rid of some of the worst bits. This one's not too bad. I've shot a lot recently where it's been like F13, F14, and it's been a bloody nightmare. This one looks like maybe it's been F11. I will be able to find out in a minute. That's probably good enough. Enough done. F9. No wonder there's not many dust spots on it. Yeah, just now I must admit I have been looking at PCs, because with the exhibition being on at the minute, I am hopeful that somebody will eventually buy something, and then I'll have a little bit of cash, a bit of spare money, and be able to do, you know, even if I can invest 500 or 600 quid into my PC, you know, whether that's just a motherboard, processor, and a new a new tower, because all the other bits will be fine. Might look into that at some stage, depending on how many bills I need to pay in the next God knows how long. Right, so that's the dust button done. I'm gonna look at white balance, just look at auto, flatten them, enhance those blues a bit too much, not really keen on that. Maybe just as shot will do. Contrast, I'm going to increase the contrast. So I'm probably going to go in with a multiply blend mode on these. So I can start these these first edits, these first Lightroom adjustments quite light, because obviously when we get into Photoshop, you multiply one on top of the other and that makes things really, really dark. So the lighter they are to start with, the better, really. But you haven't got to go too mad. You don't want to be losing detail or structure. You want to keep a lot of that there. So something like that. Washed out enough. It's looking like David's not actually in the stream, but if you can see this mark here, that is David Byrne. And surprise, surprise, it's absolutely bucketing again outside. I'm sick of summer already. Well, I'm not saying already. Feels like it's past. The heating's come on because it's been that cold. It hasn't stopped raining since Thursday. It's just so depressing. Just not good at all. Right, so I think we are fairly good there. I am just going to warm those yellows up a bit. There we go. Just add in just to kill. Everything I do at the minute seems to be yellow, so I'm determined to get away from that. So I'm just slightly warming those up into the orange kind of categories rather than yellowy greens. Maybe it's about there, something like that. Yeah, that'll do. Done, and then we just need to sync those into other images, which are at the minute stuck behind my head on the screen. Sync all those across. Synchronize. Yeah, F22 is not much fun. Just invest in an ND filter. What you save in time dust spotting will make your life a hell of a lot easier. Evening, Rob. Good of you to come along as well. Good stuff. Quite right, Peter. Yep. A 6-stop is probably the ideal one. I think if I had the money, I would maybe buy an 8-stop. Just to give us a little, for like summer weather. I can get those slightly longer exposures, because like even the summer at F11 or F13, F14, you're still only really getting half a second. Where it would be nice just to get that a little bit closer to the second mark. Open its later in Photoshop, this one. So yeah, I think the last Format High Tech sale, I think it was around about Christmas time. They did a like 80% off remaining stock of screw-in filters or whatever they were selling at the time, and it of course jumped straight in. Any 8 stops, no. Any more 6 stops, no. Anything useful, no. It was all rubbish. Yeah. I think the kits, your filter kit holders and all, your Lee stuff, I think they're fine if you're doing landscape photography and you use grads a lot. But if you don't use grads at all, I would just go like a screw-in filter, because it's way easier. And if you're serious about ICM, it's going to be on the front of your lens 90% of the time anyway. So you might as well have a screw-in one. Plus you won't get any light leaks as well. Or shouldn't do. Anyway, alright. Multiply. And I missed a dust spot by the looks of it. Bugger. Anyway. So, given everything there multiply blend mode, which you can see is now fairly dull, but there's that nice orange warm tone come through the image, which I'm liking. Right, I'm just going to knock that layer off because it's out of line. To sort of line that up, that needs to come across. And I think that has that been shot at a different angle? No, it's about there. It's about there. Is that going to work or not? Maybe not. If I put that one as dark and no. Lighten, no. Pin light, no. Soft light might work actually. That looks not too bad. Leave that on and just mask out that area, so I've still got that curtain wall. That ruined a bit. Another man recommending breakthrough filters. Our friend Paul, who's usually in here, Paul Thompson, he is a breakthrough filters ambassador, I think. Something like that. And Vanguard, them things with legs, tripods. He's an ambassador for them as well. So yeah, if you're looking for breakthrough filters, is give Paul a shout if he turns up into chat tonight. I don't know if he's around or not. Right. God, what the hell was that? Opacity up, flew up. Why is that looking so bad? Right, take that. That's because it's quite light. Okay. Let me think. I wasn't doing what I was thinking it was going to be doing. Right. Line. Bit of darken. Let's just do nothing there. It is after going to be soft light, isn't it? Thinking aloud as usual. Actually, to be honest, I don't mind that little curve in there. It gives it something different. But I need to get rid of this sky. I always do it the wrong way around. Something like that. There we go. It's nice. Now to get rid of that line. There we go. Ooh. Lovely. Looks decent. So does this one need to be... Reduce the opacity of this base layer because I think it's a little tad strong. 100%. Maybe it's 80. I'm thinking one of these layers might need to move. So a move tool, and you can see our friend David is... Well, I thought it might need it moved, but no. I think I'll just have to be like that. Kind of work as a shadow, I think. Right, is this stream behaving itself? Get another one of them yellow red warnings. And I haven't changed. I haven't changed views. That's better. Right, excuse me. Sorry about taking a swig of tea there. I hadn't finished it and it was getting cold. Right, let us play more. So, with this layer it is darkening down that sky quite a bit. So I'm just going to mask, just very generally. Get it the right way around eventually, first time one day handy. Just lighten them up a bit. There we go. Something like that. ideally, it'd be nice if these trees weren't there, but they are going to be there. Stream's okay, Grant, that's fine. Just sometimes it gets a bit choppy when the frame rate drops quite a lot. But I've done quite a bit of tweaking with frames and all that garbage that we do. Right. It's looking quite nice. You know, very much of a subtle hint of that. You know, that ruin of the keep there, all that shard of stone. Some nice textures in here, up here. Quite liking that. This is going to cause a bit of a mess on the right hand side, but we'll see what happens. Right then, curves adjustment layer. Brighten some of this up, darken some of that down. Am I finally going to be able to return to having something orange rather than yellow for a change? Keep that bright, yeah, let's keep that up there. Nice bit of contrast there. Some nice orange tones that we like, excellent. Yeah, I think that'll probably do for this stage. Don't think we need any other colour adjustments. I think we'll just jump straight in analog. See what comes out. The camera. Oh, I think the webcam's broken again. I don't know what it is about this machine. It just seems to crap out on me. It was misbehaving in Premiere earlier on today as well. Well, if that's stuck, that might as well go in. Situation, no webcam. No point looking at my face stuck. I hate this. I don't know whether it's the webcam or whether it's the machine. It's just it seems to do it every week. Well, not every week, but something goes wrong every week. Without warning, it just shuts off. Most annoying. Hopefully you can still hear us. That is actually coming through on a different sound thingy, capture card, whatever you want to call it. So looking just generally at my presets to see if there's any tonal change, you know, any particular tonal change that looks good. Not really thinking about shape at the minute. More just getting colours without having to reinvent the wheel. Autumn fall might be an option. Possibly. Audio's good. Oh well, at least you don't need to look at my face for the rest of the evening, so that's good. I'm hoping I don't need a new webcam. Right, just really don't want this to be too contrived. I just want a nice, simple, quick image, really. It's them bloody trees on the right hand side causing me headaches. Maybe go with that, but then do it. Looks terrible because of it's all the stuff on the left hand side makes it look awful. But there's trees. I mean, in reality, there's trees to the left there as well. Thank you very much, sir. That's very kind of you. Let's see that. I'm gonna. That's it. Already at 400%. Oh God, I hate this. The struggles of trying to make images from your imagination. It's good with something like that. If I bring that down, does that start swimming? Then at least that looks sky-like-ish. Just put what, something like that about there. Then we can kind of play with the colour to I do like these images where like part of it's like hived off the corner. Quite like them. Ew. Let me move that around there, drop that a bit. Maybe something like that. A bit of a creative crop might work. Or we just take that right the way out there. We get rid of that horrible bit on the left. Drop that down a touch to there. That might actually work better. And now we can just configure using the sliders. Open that up. Do we want more detail or do we want less? Probably just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, I think the contrast will just stay as it was. Drop the brightness a bit. Double exposure was sorted. We can maybe look at balance between the two. Oh no, because that balance was more to the overlaid layer rather than kind of central, was it? Where I usually start things. When you reduce it, that gives it like a better edge here. This end point is nicer than what it was when we were on what, 75%? I think it's a better when it's more balanced, when there's maybe 55% there. That's better. Exposure balance, like brightness, we can tweak, but yeah, that's probably 30-ish. It's probably good. And then we can kind of look at adding in some colour. Just use the lens vignette to highlight certain things. Probably do want a bit of darkness into the trees on the right, but maybe it's not that much. Maybe it's about there. There we go. Film choice. Let's try warm to warm. Yeah, just kind of keep this fairly subtle. Actually, reduce that. Fade it nearly all the way up to the top. We want to keep a vague semblance of structure on the top of the hill. Pull that back until I'm happy, about there. Levels. Actually, I'll just zero these out. Start again. Blue, just lift the blue so the sky can have a little bit of cyan into it, just a touch. The rest of it, add a bit more yellow into the ground. About there. I don't know why I'm looking at my second screen, because that looks way different to the one I'm looking at. It's not the one I should be using to see edit with. I think it's because I keep on looking at my phone, and everything I've put out's a little bit warmer than what it looks like on my screen. GB, oh yeah, I just pulled that down a touch. I think I like this more washed out. So when you're lifting this bottom corner out, you know, above the Z x-axis, and that takes away blacks. So just lifting that out, kind of washes these areas out more. Just pull that down to darken it a bit. Push that slightly just to bring in a bit more light into here. It's not too shabby actually. Might go for a, you know, like a very big change in tone in Viveza or something afterwards. Well, that's shape wise it looks not too bad. It's not ideal having the trees on the right hand side. That really has changed it up quite a bit. So you just kind of got to make do. Did I press OK? Right, yeah. Back into Photoshop. See where we're at. Right, right. A hue and saturation adjustment layer. And we can kind of go for broke here. You can really change things. Probably going to bring the lightness up for everything there. I'm going to check these yellows. Bring them towards the, slightly more towards the oranges. So it's only like -2, but you can, those small movements in just one colour can make a big difference. Could do, Peter. You're asking a lot of my computer to do that whilst streaming though. So might just crop them out though. Not done a lot of warping and stuff like that, I must admit. I'm slightly concerned these are starting to turn to mud colours. So we'll kind of stop that about there. Yeah. Just washed it out, just a little bit, it's washed out. I'm just going to, bit of opacity, or maybe change blend mode. have a look through, see what they're doing. So you go something like overlay and then just dial back on the opacity to the point where you like it. Still very, very strong in here. And you getting the yellow highlights along the ridge, which I'm not particularly enjoying. So let's not do that. Just options, just playing around. That's what it's all about. Everything's just about playing. It's really quite dark, that, isn't it? Oh well, hey ho. Let us add a touch more red. Curves layer. It's gonna don't brighten it that much. Yeah, that's more like it. I was just slightly concerned there when I zoomed right out there, which I do when I'm kind of looking to print, see, you know, say a finished image and print it, is look from this distance, because when you're looking at an image on the wall, generally that's how big it'll look. And before I put that curves adjustment on, to me it looked very, very dark. You know, the sky didn't look good at all. So that's why I've done that in curve adjustments, just to lighten it up a bit. Just to ease it along. I have a feeling I'm just going to do a square crop about there. And just trim out all these trees. Right, I will save that there now, because I think that's about as good as we're going to get out of that one. And then we'll maybe look at another one. Right, once this is saved and then cropped and all that. So, where is my button? So I'm sure you probably either all have or have all tried to get these presets, but if you haven't already, then they are available from that website address and also a link below in the description if you're interested. Those presets keep me going. Right. We were in Photoshop before. We want to be in Lightroom now, don't we? So that's all saved out, and let us move. I think I'm still stuck. The camera still isn't working. Right. That's what's on. So crop wise, I think it's going to be either I think it could almost be a portrait crop. I've forgotten how to use this thing. My brain's gone to mush today. Certainly has this evening since everything starts breaking. Right, a crop. We want to turn that upside down. And maybe we want a wider one, because we don't like 3x2 crops on portraits. We like a 4x5 or a 4x3. So something like, just have that right on the edge to tease you. Trees right on the edge to tease you as well, because you don't want to. I mean, going all the way across there is a possibility. But I think just heading across here, maybe the 4x3 crop will fit a little bit more in. No, it won't, Andy. You've forgotten how ratios work. You dumb bugger. Yeah, something like that. Roundabout there. So that's one possibility. That's if we go portrait. Of course, we could go 1x1. Create another copy. across here. We get this nice area on the left hand side. Yes, everything's in the bloody middle again, but that's ICM photography for you. It just happens. We've got trees on the edge there. It's an image. It ain't gonna be a good one tonight, that's for certain. So, well, that's one done. Did I pick out another one to do? I can't remember which ones I want to do now. Come on, computer. Slow's a house. I think that was one. Let me think. Right, yeah, some of these ones. So I'm going to just give these a go quickly. That one. Let's go for that one. Which one was it? Yeah, we'll go for these 4. Wait for one. Yeah, go for these 4. Do these very quickly, hopefully. Lens correction, sort all that out. It's easy, basic. Flatten noise reduction. What's auto going to do is brightens it. What I want to do here is almost get rid of the sky. So I want to do HSL, luminance, try to lift the sky, not the ground. God's sake. That's what we want. Something like that. Yes, I want to get the sky almost as light as possible. Yeah, the highlights can go up as well. Something like that. Dust spotting, just to make sure that's all done. I'm going to see if one of these inverted images work with this. I found it's better if you're shooting into the sun with these, because it just blows the entire sky out. But obviously I didn't on this day. It's maybe something I'll probably keep in mind for when I'm out shooting and actually overexposing to the point where I'm clipping highlights. Right, so what do we want? Yeah, that'll do. Sync those across. I'm all done. Open in Photoshop. And remember to shut that one down. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of my face while that loads. There we go. Come on. Looking to do this one quickly, hopefully. Right, okay. Go for lighten, maybe? Can't remember what blend mode I usually use for it. Now, shows you how good I am at preparing for these things. Yeah, let's go lighten. There's texture in the foreground. That doesn't do much. Probably do want quite a bit of sky, so these two could come down so they are kind of in line. You can see I'm just making them roughly line up about there. This one can come down as well. This one's not going to probably not do much at all. Yeah, it's about that, something like that. Yeah, there's no lines to see, so it shows you how light the images are. Okay, I'm going to go on brain. What do? I'm going to amass all those layers together in one. How it's all layered together into a new layer. Can't remember what the terminology is, but it's Control Alt Shift and E is the keystroke for it. Can never remember what the terminology is. Right, so we are at that stage. Probably want a curves adjustment layer. And not that light, about there. I was just wanting to give the foreground a bit, make it a bit darker, so there's something to invert to. Hopefully this is going to go okay. Excuse me if it doesn't. Invert movies. Controlling. No, that's just that. That's not right. Maybe group them all together again. There we go. So we now have, it's all inverted, so yellow has turned into cyan, white has turned into black, and kind of the subtle bits in between. So that's Control and I to invert it. There are other ways of doing it, but this is one of them. And what I usually do now is go into Color Effects Pro, and in there we've got the white neutralizer tool. Obviously Color Effects Pro is part of the Nick collection. Once that loads, I think you can actually do it using the levels adjustment layer as well, but you can pick which colour you want to colour balance. Of course we want the blues to be balanced out of it. Obviously you can increase your these like that. We want it about there because we still want that to be pretty dark. That'll probably do. Click OK. There we are. That's, we'll not really know until we get further into it. So on here, just try the levels tool. Which one's that? You can kind of control things a little bit more here to bring a bit more brightness into the foreground. Probably black's about there. Okay, that'll do, I think. Yeah, let's go for it, I think. What do I do? Do I usually apply a colour? Because that'll end up quite blue, won't it? Let us apply a colour. I'll drop a layer of colour, hue blend mode. There we are. Things is kind of it's applied that orange to them blues. So let us get to something that looks kind of neutral-ish. So probably on the bluer side. So about there, that'll do. And I'm going to go into Analog Effects Pro, start dicking around in there. I think the biggest thing in Analog Effects Pro with this one is not the double exposure, it'll be the, which I suppose you can use it on any tool, but the levels, which should change things up. And let's have a look at this preset, because that looked half decent. I'm just looking here. It's really just to see what is available, excuse me, as options. See what there is, see what there is. Something like this is what I'm going to look to aim for. Almost looked like a snowstorm there. But let's not get too carried away with that one. We might return to something of that nature. See, we could make something like that. Or let's just run with this and see what happens. So we want colour, and if you move this up the left hand side, you'll see the black area will be filled with colour, because you're moving the colour on the curves. You're moving that colour selection. On the blacks, if that was left as pure black, that would come away as grey, but because you're doing it with the colour, it's filling it in with colour like so. So, you know, you could cool it off like that. You can warm it up by bringing the blue that way. You can bring, you know, this side down, change it to like that yellow. I'm quite enjoying the having the reds into these, which is about as far as I've got these days. Yeah, just adding, like, bringing that blue along the bottom there is getting rid of a lot of that magenta kind of tone. Hi Fernando, good of you to come along all the way from Brazil. Hopefully you can understand my Northumbrian accent. Well, it's very good of you to come along this evening and witness the madness. So, yeah, something like that's not bad. Let's try with the green. Green's just adding in that little bit more orange there. Go more of a pinky kind of sky. Something like about there. Obviously you got the RGB curve there, which if we flatten out we can kind of see what we've got. Then you can go wilder with it. And of course you could just take it with a double exposure, and then you've got, you know, I was going to say something much more graphical. The edges are a bit more softer for that, but you kind of get what I mean. Yeah, it's probably better with a washed out kind of sky, isn't it? Exposure's probably about the right spot. Something like that. It ain't too shabby, to be honest. Don't think. Started there, got to there. Just with basically curves and turning it upside down. Lens vignette, let's just try refining that. Come here. Obviously we're getting a bit of bloom in the red, in this orangey red when you darken it, so let's put the lens vignette right on top of it and look to darken down that other side. I'll lighten it so it's more storm-like. Actually, where it was is probably bang on. Evening, Paul. We were talking about you earlier. Somebody mentioned breakthrough filters. I said you were the main man for that. There you go. Quick, cheap and nasty, that one. I think that'll probably do. Nice little snowstorm scene, even though it wasn't snowing. It was the middle of the summer and it was probably the hottest day of the year. Amazing what a little bit of imagination and some post-processing will do. Or a healthy dose of imagination. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to get any better options in amongst them. Just gonna go okay for that. Yeah, I can't remember who it was. Justin it was, if he's still out there. I think he was on about filters. Right, there we go. I'll just save this. We'll go back to Lightroom. That looks a lot more yellow now that it's not in Analog Effects Pro. Might have to sort some of that out, make it a little bit more, send it back to being a bit more white. Thanks, John. Yes, yeah, you never know what's round the next corner when you just turn it around a little bit or push the curves in an extreme way. You can get some weird and wonderful stuff, and it doesn't really matter what time of the day or year or it is. It's you can get all kinds of stuff. You've just got to use your imagination. That's the only thing. That's the only prerequisite you need, is to be able to just go with your imagination and run with it. Yeah, the actual white balance on that's just gonna ruin it. So let's just pull them blues back a little bit. Actually, probably where it was probably as good as they're gonna get. Let me bring back that 5. Let's make that 10. It's a little bit whiter. Yeah, that'll do. So again, a crop, virtual copy, crop tool, panoramic-y kind of feel to it. I lose a little bit of foreground. I want a lot of sky. I want a little bit of scale, so maybe it's not so deep. So just stick to a 2B3 and then go up at the top there. Again, everything's in the bloody middle, but that's just the way a lot of my stuff runs. Not bad. Could have been better. Let's try another crop. For a giggle, let us 1 by 1 for Instagram maybe. There's not a lot of subject there, to be honest. 2B1 crop for the very wide angle. Go for a lot of sky. That look ish. A lot more sky would have gone. Wouldn't have gone amiss. But then again, one of the images we started with, that sky could have been a lot higher, a lot further up the image. So starting with that lower, the landscape on the lower has helped us have something up there anyway. So yeah, bit of an odd one. Not yet convinced which is the better crop, or if any of them work, to be honest, but you never know. So yeah, I think that'll probably do for tonight. I would wave at you and just gesticulate with my hands and do all that, but seeing as my webcam seems to have broken, then we'll not do that. We'll just leave the ending screen on this final image. Let's have a look at the previous one. That might have worked a little bit better. So yeah, we've made two images tonight, which is a change, because usually I only get get through one, but maybe it's because the data wasn't very good for tonight's episode. That's why we got 2 out. Hoping to get out in the next... Actually, Paul's in chat. Meant to be meeting up with him if he's still heading this way this week. So there might be something from that in the coming weeks. But yeah, if you've enjoyed tonight's episode, please do leave a thumbs up and leave a comment below once it's all done and dusted. That would be grand. If you've got suggestions of what other suggestions of what I should be doing, or leave them as well. And basically, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for putting up with my random thought processes and brain farts, which I just divulge as we go along. So yeah, keep an eye out for my next video, which will be out either later in the week or the weekend. If you're subscribed and you got the bell icon, you will be notified when that goes live, and you'll be able to see it straight away. So yeah, thanks again for watching. But until next time, keep hard. See ya.